On today's Minute of the Apes, it's Monday, and already I'm forced to censor Sean. Hello and welcome to Minute of the Apes, the daily podcast where we break down every minute of the Planet of the Apes movies, 1 minute at a time. I'm Todd, and across from me, causing problems already, taking the little bits of information that we share as friends. And
you're the one that deleted it and made everything go bad, not me.
And it was true. It was almost like the recording guys said, no, we're not doing that, Todd. But that's Sean, and over there being so diligent. We know what he was working on. It is a Sunday morning, and Richard, what does that mean you're working on?
I'm working on the checklist, the pull list for our subscription customers. I'm looking at numbers as they come in and trying to make sure that we don't sell out of something.
That's kind of what you almost always do in the first couple of episodes, and then we have to stop down a little bit. But that's part of owning a comic book store, right?
Ooh.
Well, he puts out the checklist on Sunday morning, and all them orders are coming in.
Yep.
All them orders.
He's got to pull covers down that get wiped out real quick.
That's right.
And what's getting wiped out so far?
Your
let's see.
Draculina.
Yeah, so there's a Dynamite book called Draculina. And no offense to the fans of Draculina or the fans of Dynamite doing multiple covers, but Draculina consistently sells about one copy.
Really?
But I will go ahead and order, they'd like to do 5 covers. You don't want to do this. I order like 5 covers, the A, the B, the C, the D, the E, which is usually a cosplay cover. And for whatever reason, 5 people hopped onto one particular cover, so it must be a nice cover. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, you guys are going to have to wait for me to get a reorder in because I don't think you understand. I only sell one copy of this book. Right. So I only ordered one copy of each of these covers. And if 5 of you want this, that's great. I'm going to make you happy. But you can't have it on Wednesday.
Are people going to take that okay as long as they get their book?
Usually, but I mean, I have to do it with a little bit of like nicety and not just say like, "Look, loser, only one people ever buys this book, and
I really
5 of you losers want it at this time." And
I want you to do that with the biggest smile on your face. Hey, loser!
Hi.
No, it's just funny. It's okay.
There is something so romantic about having your own business and owning your store and following a dream like that I never want to experience. The idea of having to order for people like that would just be. I couldn't do it. So to you,
golf clap. Seagull clap.
So while he works on things, Sean, why don't you tell us what's going on with Minute 66?
All right. We're going to start Minute 66 with horses in the water and ends with Estella Warren looking on in anxiety.
All right, here it comes. Minute 66, Tim Burton, Estella Warren, Minute of the Planet of the Apes. Yeah.
We have to swim! Hey! I won't let go of you. Come on!
As of Minute 66, we have an Oberon's worth of apes and humans, 2 displaced pods worth of humans and apes, wild humans, Ape City minus those 2 gorillas, and humans on the loose, and now an ape camp.
All right, so visually we get the humans fleeing in the water. We get Atar coming across the camp as Leo rides his horse. Atar runs towards apparently what I guess now is almost, is that his tent or is it a religious tent or what? It's never really signified exactly. Right. Leo throws a flame into that tent and we see the Seamus picture burning. We get a lot of chasing. It is just basically the apes coming toward the camera, Leo riding away, falling off his horse. They are throwing things. He runs out to Ari and takes her in his arms as they try to go to the water and says that he won't let her go. And they go into the water with the apes following. So before we get to any of the specific action, we've talked before about positive, negative shots. This minute, I don't know that I've ever seen anything like this. Yes, there are screen left and screen right actions. The majority of this action is a positive or neutral shot. It goes towards the lens. It is all, and what that makes for is incredibly easy to cut because you're not worried about screen directions. Everything is right to it.
Right. Yeah.
Now, I wonder, was that a choice? Did he say, I want the immediacy of it just being right to my lens? You go watch Silence of the Lambs, the dialogue scenes are all with them looking into the lens
down the barrel,
so that it makes you uncomfortable. I wonder if he wanted this. Maybe he thought that would make you more uncomfortable if it's all right at the lens. Anyway, that's pretty much it. So we start with the humans going in the water and Atar running across.
Was I the only one that thought that Davidson was already with them in the water?
It was. I mean, I kind of want to go back and look at that
Okay.
minute, but it was also kind of lit.
It felt
weird,
like
I couldn't tell.
Yeah, it was very confusing that he was so far behind them.
I get him running through, setting stuff on fire, but I thought he was leading them through the water.
Yeah,
I, mean,
I
he's
thought
got
he was in the
supposed to
head.
be.
Yeah.
So
it would have been interesting if we saw him come back for her.
yeah.
But then that would have kind of changed your direction to see him kind of move backwards.
Yeah, I
when
went to the previous minute. I'm looking at it, and he was in the lead of all the horses, and then Limbo gets jumped on. I mean, I don't know when. I'm just watching it and talking as we're going here to see when he's still leading them. He's like, "Come on, come on." And then, he pulls off. Okay, he did pull off in the last minute. We just didn't pay attention because, yeah, it's very confusing. Because it felt like he should have, since he was in the lead, it felt like he should have stayed in the lead.
Okay, you got that other clip up?
Yeah.
Let's also look at what Atar's actions are, because what really confuses me is that the last we saw at the very last minute, he was in that tent.
That tent, yeah.
And now if you watch the action, because Leo even with a horse eventually rides away from him, so he is actually very separated from that tent suddenly.
Well, Leo in the previous minute turns around and goes backwards, and so the Atar comes out of the tent, but Davidson, I mean, he's running around the camp, so they're not really establishing where he is in the camp, so he could have ridden around and come back to that tent.
Yeah,
It's just it's not very clear.
No. And especially, so we get a shot of Atar. Okay, so we see it at 6 seconds in today's clip. Mm-hmm. We see Leo going left, right, camera, right? On the horse. He rides out of frame, and Atar's following, not behind Leo. He's actually running against. So if Leo's going this way, Atar's going that way, and I know that I'm in podcasting, it's not exactly true. He's actually running.
He's running a 90-degree angle.
Well, technically for the lens. Let's talk lens. He is running negative to the lens. He's running away from it.
And then
Leo's going camera right.
Yeah.
But then we cut to shots. Okay, then we get a neutral shot of Atar behind the flame. As Leo, now, okay, the camera moves and he runs away, right? But now Leo's going to throw that flame at that tent.
Well, hang on. Before we even get to that, so Leo knocked over, it looked like 2 torches that Atar backs up from.
Yeah.
He is in a wide open, in this room, I can understand if you've knocked over that lamp, I would be, oh shit, there's fire in here.
Right.
But he is in wide open. He can take 2 steps to the right, 2 steps to the left, and he goes around. That should not be, that should be, or hell, we see Davidson later leap over flames. Why is he not leaping over the flames? When Davidson goes to take care of Ari, he jumps over flames. Why is this guy not jumping over flames? But anyway, so to your point, where he's going to throw the poorly thrown, that's like a really bad throw of that spear. But anyways,
but he throws it at this tent that is apparently what we're trying to believe is the tent that Atar was in before praying to Seamus, and it's just before the body of water where the humans are escaping. It doesn't matter. Yeah. I don't understand how Atar was in that, how he ended up so deep within the camp just to follow and chase it again.
Yeah,
and.
We praised the movement of this scene, and now we're kind of breaking down all of the it doesn't make any sense. Why is he so far away from the altar that he was just at? And Why is Davidson now kind of circling back around for some reason to set stuff on
I guess
fire?
he's just trying to disrupt the camp.
I know it's just kind of fascinating. Well, I mean, you would. I mean, if you're this soldier, you're like, I gotta get rid of this, so they can't follow me. I gotta
but
make
also
this so
remember,
chaotic
the
for them.
apes don't like water, so his whole plan is to get to the water so they can get to the other side. So just get to the fucking water because they're not going to chase you once you get to the water.
Yeah, but more chaos that you sow, the harder it's going to be for them to chase you either here or later on in the film.
So, agreed. But why throw it at the tent? If I am riding away from you, Richard, and you're following me, I'm actually throwing that thing at you, even if that makes you sidestep. I'm on a horse.
I'm faster than you.
Yeah, I'm faster, more powerful than you. If I make you sidestep, then I gain ground.
Yeah, anytime.
When he throws at the tent, all he's doing is looking for destruction. It's also a movie. They want to burn
by
shit.
the
Well,
way,
I mean, let's go ahead.
What are their tents made out of? What is this painting made out of? Because as soon as I have tried to start a fire in my house.
Well, damn, do we need to call JJ?
Seriously,
And so, I got the logs going, but even the kindling takes a minute or two to catch. This, like, the torch hits it, and it's
maybe that
made out
torch
of
is soaked with
gasoline.
something,
Yeah.
and it flicks on it.
I mean, I'm sure they don't have fireproof fibering at this particular era. They probably don't really.
asbestos.
Yeah, this is probably made with stuff that just sets on fire relatively quickly because of
It's
the
made out of
technology
baby
that's
cloth.
So you're right. Atar is no longer near where he was worshiping, and now he's running back towards where he's worshiping. I guess what I'm trying to figure out here is what message are we doing, because we really haven't honed in on this being a very religious society. We've seen Atar worship a few things here and there, but we really don't know enough about this character for why this has any meaning for me. Him destroying this particular CMOS altar doesn't really mean anything because we haven't spent any time on it.
Right.
And I don't know why. I don't even know why Atar cares, or why Davidson would know to set that on fire, other than it just happens to be that.
That's the one that really bothers me the most. Is what if we had seen Leo in their perch above the camp, maybe observe,
Him
and
coming
maybe
out
if
of
this
there,
tent actually looked a little
more
different,
more people came out of it. Or
it has some
something
ornate
different.
coverings,
Yeah.
something that he goes,
Or it's a
okay,
different
this is
color.
significant. Anything like that would draw
Make
his
it white.
attention. This is approximately, so roughly around 20 seconds is where it really turns into this whole back and forth of the neutral positive shots. Leo riding the horse, which the shot roughly at 20 seconds, which is Leo very close up on a horse, is probably one of my favorite moments, because I have told so many friends, they're like, when you take apart the footage when you watch a film, I guarantee you that he is not on a horse.
Oh, no.
He
No,
is on
sure.
something, and they're
They're
just
just
bouncing
bouncing
him
up and down.
And they are, to get the motion, they're pushing fans through the smoke to create the illusion. I love that. I could watch that shot over and over because nothing is happening. They may be pulling him ever so slightly, but it's nothing. It's fake.
So at 16 seconds, Atar body checks somebody else. Was his plan, was that an accident? Was he going for those chains? I don't know what it is. Morning
What
Star.
do they call those bolas? No, what do they call those
bola.
things?
Yeah, I think it is. Where it's like two balls on a rope that you can catch somebody
he
with.
throws it in the air and it magically hits.
He throws it upwards when he should be throwing it sideways, and it magically hits the horse. That Davidson flies off funnily, but then when he gets up, which he should be really hurt from falling off a horse. First of all, when he gets up, if you look at the horse, it's just standing there with nothing around its feet.
Well, first,
Look,
If it's the same horse, it's just
well,
off
there's
on
no
the
other
side.
horse around him,
Yeah.
so you
Yeah.
get the really bad throw. It hits the feet really funny and then
he
the
just
really
falls flat down.
Yeah,
flat.
he just flat.
And you can tell that's not, if you're slow motion, you can tell that's not.
He just fell off like a 3 feet high and
He's
jumped
a little
down.
bit of a dive.
At 26 seconds, you can tell that's not Mark Wahlberg,
Yeah.
too. Very different nose.
But then at 28 seconds, there's the only horse close to him, just standing there, nothing around its feet, just chilling.
Oh yeah, that's totally not Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
No.
That's not Mark. No,
But that's also, once again, it's the lie of
Yeah,
filmmaking.
he
It's
just
not
jumped
him.
off a platform out of the shot and did
Yeah.
a flip and landed on his feet.
You know what I just realized? I realized Mark's outfit in this film is very Bespin Luke.
I can see that a little
Yeah,
bit.
I agree with that. A little more
A little
tattered,
distressed,
less
yeah.
sleeving, but this is where we get into the back and forth of all these positives. The only shot that's weirdly out of sync here, and they may have done it for chaos or they didn't intend it for this, is the gorillas apes coming at 30 seconds and how they're working center to left.
Oh yeah, you're right. I saw that. Yeah.
and then Leah's moving
Going
left to
to
right,
right.
and then it goes back to all these neutral shots. Because everything
But-
else from this point on is very, very neutral.
Now I
and
know
positive to the
I know
lens.
why they did it. It's for the comedy shot coming up of getting on my back and covering my face. But why didn't Davidson hop on a horse right back on that horse, and then grab Ari and throw her on the back?
Did you not see it's got a bolo around its legs?
Well, oh no, I didn't see that because they were just walking around.
I mean, that's actually a really good point. I mean,
Yeah.
would you go back for the horse to go across the water, or would you just like
Hot footed. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, did he even know Ari was there? Like,
Yeah.
I have no idea. He's like, oh, here you are. Well, shit, let's get across the water.
Well,
Like,
and
I have
then
no idea if he's going back for her. Like, it would have been nice to see him go towards the water and then see him kind of cut back to
And see
realize,
her,
he's,
like,
realize
oh.
he's got to go save her. Because otherwise, he's just
True,
kind of tumbling.
true.
He's just stumbling upon her like, well, all right, fool. Let's go, fool. Let's go.
And in a moment that's urgent like this, I always hate these overtly comedic. She grasps onto
On
him,
his
puts
face,
her, on his
yeah,
hands
covers
on his
his
face. I'm
face.
like, it's so obvious. It's she's scared, and why can't she just be scared and not be a moron?
Yeah. Well, at 32 seconds, we get them throwing their flaming highlight balls. That they're horrible. Not one shot gets near anybody because the one that gets near Davidson, he just leaps over again,
Yeah.
which our Atar could have done. But I mean, how is this good weapons? This highlight stuff because it's getting.
We
nobody.
should have seen it hit one human
Yeah.
and actually set them on fire, so we
yeah.
would understand what they were doing.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not playing cornhole with anyone.
No.
Of these apes at any
Well, not
particular
on my
point.
team. I
No,
want to
not on
play
my team.
against
Yeah,
them.
yeah, sure. I'll totally play ape cornhole.
Ape cornhole.
So
You make me smile at times. That was funny.
So this movie came out 4 years after Titanic. Whenever
Okay.
Ari jumps on him and he goes, "Hey, I won't let go." Do you think that's a little Titanic callback?
Maybe. And a complete aside, because you brought that up. Did you see that James Cameron decided to do a test?
Documentary about
Oh
how
my fucking god, dude!
What?
about the fact that Jack couldn't have fit on the door.
He actually did a little thing to prove that he was right. It wouldn't have worked.
Because
And I'm like,
MythBusters has done this whole thing where they put two guys on the door and they could stay on it and everything. But, James Cameron's ultimate thing was it's for the story. He had to die because of the story.
Okay, that's all you had to
That's all
say.
you say. But make the door just a little bit smaller. Make it
Right.
more plausible that he couldn't have fit on there.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, I
that's
mean, we don't know. I mean, James Cameron might have actually been in a room and spent 2 days with people trying to figure this out for the film, and then somebody comes and proves him wrong. It's like, no, we spent 2 fucking days trying to figure this out. We're smart people too.
but at the same time, I'm going to put my money on MythBusters. Those bitches usually
they
get that
do the
shit
work.
right.
Yeah.
But I mean,
But at the same time,
it's why it's a waste of James Cameron's.
that's what I
energy.
thought. You're James fucking Cameron.
Yeah.
Why do you have to
Why
prove
did-
that to anybody? Just say it's. You know why he died? Because I
'Cause the
wanted
story.
him to
'Cause the story
die.
needed him to die.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I needed him to make
Well,
that sacrifice.
why did she throw the
Done.
heart of the ocean away? Because it's the story. I mean, she could have given it to her grandchildren and set them up for life, but
That's
no.
right, bitch. Selfish bitch.
I know.
Seriously, and
she
everybody
threw it-
knows the Titanic didn't sink.
Yeah, yeah. And birds aren't real. and jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams.
And apes talk.
I,
They just don't let us know that they want to.
Fine, I got to throw this in this morning while I'm waiting on you guys to get here. I see a social media thing, and it's some dude interviewing MAGA people, and he said, "So what'd you think about Obama's response to 9/11? Setting him up because Obama's not in
yeah,
office."
yeah.
And he goes, "Yeah, that son of a bitch wasn't even there in office at that time. He didn't do shit." And the guy was like, "Really? What do you think he should have done?" Well, he should have been out there mobilizing all this. And it was like, you can almost just see the idiotic nature of stupid people.
Yeah.
Anyways,
okay.
back to the movie.
Back to the movie.
Speaking of stupid people, Ari covers
hops
his eyes and
Hop on.
smothers me, and so
From now
blinds
on-
me and smothers me.
From now on, when you carry me places, Sean, I'm going to put my hands
You're gonna
over your eyes, just like go.
So
go.
do you think because this will happen again at the end of the movie? Do you think that Marky Mark had a clause in his contract that I have to have my face covered by ape hands at least twice, if not 3 times in this movie? Once is there a soul in there?
Oh, that's
Second
true.
time here, and then there's a third time at the end of the movie.
It might have been. Maybe that's the
Maybe that's his
unspoken
fetish.
visual theme.
Maybe he has a fetish about fingers on face.
Somebody break that down and go watch every Mark Wahlberg film and see if he
Try to
actually
see if
wants
he
it.
gets manhandled in the face at all.
Oh,
So-
I would start with Boogie Nights. That's a very distinct possibility in that movie.
I'm sure there's a finger stuck in the mouth at
So-
some
Maybe.
point.
Ari wraps her fingers around his face.
Yes.
Then when we see him move across the water, she's now actually kind of relocated her hands to a kind of a more
Neck,
appropriate
yeah.
place. Yeah. And then as they're getting across the water, we see the entire party get across the water. We never see Dana like get off the horse. We just suddenly see her running towards the water if she got off the horse, and it just kind of felt like a weird cut. Like they're horses, and then they just stopped. Like
to that point, weird stuff. This I forget what it is. Sean always has one of the things he hates most in a film is almost like when somebody asks the stupid rhetorical. I can't remember which one it is. You have something like a rhetorical question. They state something. I have a moment in this. Mm-hmm. If we figure out which yours is, we'll go to it. I despise, and this is at roughly 43 seconds, when characters who are running from impending danger stop to talk and look back and forth and let the impending danger get even closer. That drives me fucking nuts because, you even get to the point that, so they're running, he runs to her, come on, we have to go, I won't let you go. She now, so after he says that is 7 seconds until they end up in the water while she's just looking around. I don't know about you, but if I stand still and people are running to me and in 7 seconds, they might close the gap.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. This is just kind of a thing that happens in a lot of movies, but I'm gonna just call out The Last of Us on the last episode. Mm-hmm. It was really sad with Sam and all that kind of stuff. There's that whole scene where they're barreling towards them in a giant, like, armored vehicle, mm-hmm. and these people are running from them, mm-hmm. and it's just impossible how the speed of that vehicle and how slow they're running for that vehicle not to have mowed them over at some point. Right. And it's like 5 minutes of them being chased by this vehicle that's just barreling over. I'm like, okay, that's not happening. Like, I get it, but...
Yeah, it's the same kind of thing. You can see the simple physics of the moment.
Right.
Movement... Still, there's only a small gap. What's going to happen?
We can't get into future minutes, but you will see Apes takes actions in future minutes that if they took in this minute, the movie would have been over.
Well, okay, then somebody should have done that because I would have been really happy.
Well, let me put it this way. We've seen Thade leap high. We've seen Senator Nato and Lisa Marie leap high into their chandeliers. Why are these gorillas just running on foot, not leaping, trying to get closer?
Maybe the sand doesn't allow enough traction.
Because if you go back and look in the minutes, they run really sloppily on the sand as they're running along.
Maybe it's a sand thing. Maybe that's why the most Vespa's crew is moving so slowly during the fight scene in Boba Fett.
Maybe that's a very good point.
They slowed that down because chasing the two extremes. They're moving impossibly fast; they wouldn't catch up to them, and they're so ridiculously slow that
somebody could walk in front of them and go,
"Oh, there's a droid!" Like, "Oh goodness, look, they're coming towards me." I'm just gonna kind of scuttle across the street.
That still drives me nuts. That's Robert Rodriguez directing that, the king of really getting in there, making action just kinetic and all that, and there's nothing. It seems like, what the fuck is this? Was this the rehearsal?
We're just gonna believe in a glitch in the CG and it just slowed down.
Maybe so.
They didn't catch the timing of it.
If you go to 52 seconds in, it's what you were talking about, stopping and turning around. Why are they getting off the horses at all? I mean, they've just gotten across the water. You can see them pulling their horses by foot. They're leading them by foot.
Maybe they got knocked off somehow.
I mean, they're still afraid of water. So
this is a human. Human. The African American. I mean, it's weird to say African American because there's no Africa on this planet, and he's not American. But the African American gentleman, he's like walking the horse up.
I mean, I think we can say black.
All right, we'll say black then.
I think we can. Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. And we're not doing it demeaning in any way. We're simply trying to differentiate.
And I think I saw the Egyptian guy moving the horse up too.
Yeah, so when Ari and Leo walk into the water, that roughly happens in about 51 seconds. You can at least see that the apes have closed the gap. I will at least say,
they're at the beach, yeah.
That I like that, and even then at 57 seconds when he's looking back, they are close. Mm-hmm. And what would have been nice though is to have a moment right there of the shot of the apes, like, no, I'm not going to go in the water, but we don't see that, not at least in this minute.
Like get all the way to the shoreline and just kind of
put a foot in and then back up. Yeah,
that would be nice so that we knew that they were getting away, but we don't get that immediately in this minute.
I think if you look. You can kind of, where did I see that? You can see, 57 seconds in? You can kind of see a group of them on the shoreline, and it looks like one of them reaches down into the water and splashes at it. Hang on.
I see what you're talking about.
He's splashing the water at them I can't go any further than this, damn it.
At least.
But
we can
that-
have the craziness of them stopping and talking. At least they close the gap.
That's not clear unless you go back and watch it again
Right.
and again and see that. Yeah.
We spent a lot more time on this minute that
Then we thought.
It's funny you said that because before we started, Richard's like, I just don't know if there's a lot to talk about. And I swear to you that when one of us says that, those end up being our longest episodes, like inevitably.
That is the Hot Ones equivalent of they get to that first wing and they eat it and they go, oh, this isn't bad. This
Yeah,
is
it's
gonna be
pretty
nice."
tasty. It's all right.
Cut to wing 8. God damn it!
Yeah. All right. I think that's pretty much it. We hit the 25-minute mark. We've done good breaking down this one
good,
silly
boys.
minute. So with that, let's wrap it up. Let's move on. Everyone, have a great day.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.